Are our brains really made for this age of mass communication? Is our subconscious trained to be in survival in this planet full of opportunity where really we're supposed to be thriving? In this video, I will answer these questions and expose to you why so many people are living in survival on this planet right now in this age full of opportunity. What's going on, guys? You're watching Darian Media, and today we're going to be talking about the survival instinct of human beings and why we need to develop and evolve away from that in this modern society. Our human brain is about 2,000 years old in development, and if we look at the amount of growth and technology, new technology that we've got within the last 100 years, even 50 years, we have not been able to develop our brains in the same speed that the technology has developed on this earth. A lot of people are stuck in this old way of using their brains, believing that we need to survive in this world and not thrive. Being scared, reacting to every little thing happening around you is a survival instinct from when we needed to protect our lives. We needed to protect ourselves from dangers, real dangers around us at every time. We needed to protect ourselves from predators. We needed to protect ourselves from bad weather. We needed to always be on high alert. But now we don't need that. We have beds to sleep in, we have houses to live in, we have coats to cover ourselves when it's raining or when it's snowing. And we have been able to, through technology, create our own surrounding, which means that we don't need to be in survival anymore. We are even at the top of the food chain. There are no animals out there that will be hunting us. We hunt the animals, and we've been doing that for so long that there is no reason for us to be scared. So, if this is true, why do you think that most people still live in survival? The entire consumer culture is reliant on that people believe that they need to be in survival. They have these extra prices, get this now, get the free shipping if you get it now, and all this shit that you see that marketers use to make people that live in survival believe that they need this now or else they won't be able to make it. Have you ever thought about this thing where you're scared of doing something? What do you think happens in your brain, and why don't you think that you can do it? Well, technically, your brain is telling you that if you do this, you'll die, right? That's what your brain is telling you. A lot of the time, as we know, we've all been in that process where we might haven't kissed a girl before when we were small, or had to learn how to swim, jump into the water, or whatever we've been scared of. And we've made it up into something that we absolutely can't do. It's so incredibly scary, but then when we do it, we actually start laughing about it because it wasn't that scary. It wasn't that hard to actually just go do it, right? And this is the same mechanism that keeps us in the survival instinct mode that we all mostly live in. So if all of this is true, why are most of the people around you living in survival? Well, let me tell you, media and news has played a very, very big role in that. Now, the world isn't as bad as they portray it, and we all probably believe that. But when we're watching the news, when we're programming our brains, especially looking at it in the morning, we get a twisted version of the world that bad stuff's happening all the time, everywhere around you, which isn't really true. Now, let me ask you, think back to the last time you got robbed, or you got bombed, or you got shot at, right? I would guess that for most of you, it's possibly even never. Maybe a couple of times if you're unlucky. But what I'm trying to tell you is that you can't walk around being afraid that the worst possible thing is gonna happen to you when it's actually never happened to you. Do you understand how twisted your like image of the world becomes when you look at all this shit happening all the time, but it's actually never in reality happened to you. Maybe it's happened to someone that you know and you realize, oh, never make that mistake again, or never walk alone during the night if you're a girl, or whatever things that people can start believing in. How do you manage your time? Is that really a valuable way to manage your time, by walking around multiple hours every day worrying about something that's never ever happened to you? Or is it better to just completely ignore that and not attract that by thinking of it, first of all, but also just spending your time on other things, spending your time in higher emotions, just loving life instead of being scared of it, right? There are always going to be things that we're going to be scared of, but the thing to know is that on the other side of being scared is usually, nearly always, what will develop you and grow you as a person and make you stronger. So if you go do what you're scared of, you will create new skills, new habits. You'll become a better version of yourself because you've managed to overcome your fears. In our brains, we have something called the reticular activating system. This is like a filter for what information our senses can pick up from the outer world. Alright? Have you ever, for instance, heard about a new car brand, heard a new word, and all of a sudden you start hearing it everywhere, right? That's because your reticular activating system has become aware of something new that it finds interesting, and it starts noticing it everywhere you see and go, right? And this is the same thing with emotions and feelings. If you think about something all the time, your brain will make you see it. Right? It will filter everything out, because you won't be able to pick up on everything out in the world, right? There is so much going on at the same time, so your brain must have a way to filter and organize your thoughts and how you perceive the world, right? So if you think about one thing a lot, you'll notice it more. If you think about people that might rob you, or people that might attack you, then your mind will start playing tricks on you, looking for that. And whatever you seek, you will find, right? I can tell you a little story about when I was walking off the bus once, and with absolutely no intentions of doing anything against anyone, which I never have. But then all of a sudden, a girl in front of me, I was looking down at my phone, started running away, right? And she looked back twice or 3 times at me. And I realized that she was running away from me because she was scared. Now, what happened in her brain is probably that she was looking for danger and looking for something that could tell, or that her brain could justify that I was a dangerous person. And she started running. And this is the danger with having these thoughts and letting them be in your mind. So how do we fix that? Between 0 and 8 years old, you've probably heard that kids, they can learn new languages and they are in an ultra learning state of mind, right? Do you want to know something amazing? The first 30 minutes to an hour before you go to bed, and the 30 minutes to an hour after you wake up, you're in that same state of mind. It's an alpha state, alright? You're awake, but you're in between the sleeping state and the completely awake state. This is the ultra learning stage that you're in every day. If you use this to your advantage, you can start feeding your brain with new types of thoughts and new types of feelings. Basically, every successful person that I've studied, including myself, feeds their brain in the morning every freaking morning, right? Because they know that unless you do that, your brain will start reacting to the outer world, and that will never be good, because there's so many impressions that can throw you off and make your day sour and just not help you, not serve you in any way. And this is why they feed their mind with higher emotions, like gratefulness. You've probably heard this before. You're supposed to be grateful for certain things, but really try to do that once, because when you're grateful, it's impossible, at the same time as you're grateful, it's impossible to feel fear and feel lower emotions, basically. You can't feel them at the same time. They're not congruent with each other, and it's impossible. So if you if you feed your mind during an ultra learning period of your day for being grateful, that will become your automatic, your set point, basically, for how you feel and what types of things your brain will react to. So once you do this a couple of times, you wake up, you maybe write down, you just get it as a discipline. You write down, the first thing you do, you write down on a piece of paper 3 things that you're grateful for. It could be whatever. Like, if you don't find anything that you're grateful for, I'm sorry to say, but it's completely pathetic, right? You can be grateful for, feel your heart, feel it beating. You have life. That's the greatest fucking gift you have, right? Just be grateful for your parents. Be grateful for anything you can find in your life to be grateful for, and set that intention every day to be grateful and not let yourself sink down to fear. That will be everything for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I could provide you with amazing value today. If you liked it and you've watched this far, I recommend you subscribe, press that notification bell, like the video so more people can take part of it, and comment, what will you be grateful for today? One thing you're grateful for today. Not that hard. Go down and write it down, and it'll stick with you. Peace, much love. See you on the next video.